Unlike most myths, the zombie myth generally conforms to our current understanding of reality, perhaps because it was essentially born in the modern world. In the same way that vampires and other such legends make sense in more superstitious times and cultures, the zombie is quite adapted to our own time and culture. However, there are aspects of this myth that are perhaps somewhat unrealistic, such as the undead nature of the zombie. The properties of death and animation are mutually exclusive. Indeed, one of the major components of death is total metabolic inertia. When this occurs, muscles cannot function, as they rapidly deplete adenosine triphosphate within the cells, and due to the absence of a heartbeat, the muscles no longer receive the resources required for the action refractory period, and so remain stalled. Thus, the undead zombie would not be able to function. Therefore, from simple logical extension, we could see that all zombies are essentially alive, as this is a basic mechanical requirement. But if the creature is alive, how might it come to function in the way that it does? Surprisingly, this answer has already been found, and is quite similar to how we answered the question of the vampire. Disease. Much of popular media depicts the zombie reproducing by way of an infectious vector, such as a virus, and many viri in particular are capable of rather astounding transformations to the human body. For the sake of the zombie, these changes might include excess production and secretion of corrosive byproducts due to an over-reliance on anaerobic cell respiration as a result of underutilization or damage to the lungs, even activating the decomposing bacteria present in all humans, or overproduction of digestive fluids can easily explain the decay that is observed. This latter point, the digestive fluids, also serve to explain the creature's excessive hunger, with these two aspects inherently linked. Damage to the nervous system resulting in an aggressive, bloodthirsty creature, or even general irrationality, is already observed in nature in the form of the rabies virus. Apart from increasing saliva production, this virus is capable of causing delirium and, oddly enough, hydrophobia in its hosts. Rabies itself is usually transmitted by way of saliva, demonstrating that it is quite possible for infectious diseases, such as a zombie virus, to be transmitted through bites. When considering that the aforementioned hydrophobia is demonstrable of a dramatic cognitive alteration, a rabies analog is perhaps the most feasible of all candidates for a potential zombie virus. Mortality from rabies usually occurs shortly after these symptoms appear, therefore those infected by rabies do not turn into what we might recognize as a zombie. Though human intervention to alter the manner in which the virus functions not only solves this roadblock, but also plays into the man-made virus aspect of the zombie myth. It should be mentioned that this concept has already been explored in the film 28 Days Later, where a modified rabies virus escapes the government lab and infects the population of the United Kingdoms, and just shows us how important this myth is to our culture, that we have already contrived the manner in which it may actually come to pass. It is rather unnerving to think that viri rather similar to the zombie virus do indeed exist, and that it is a simple matter of manipulation and a slight alteration of what exists in nature to achieve a real zombie. Although, it should be remembered that biological warfare and testing of this degree is quite strictly regulated and thoroughly controlled. But accidents do happen.